Remember when the in thing was making tiny versions of old consoles with about 20 or so games on, 18 of which nobody cared about, 2 of which served as a short dip in the waters of nostalgia before they were cast aside to whatever shelf or cupboard would have them, collecting dust with an undertone of, oh, I'll get that out next Christmas when the family's round, only to completely forget its existence, whilst the console creators would be working on a digital version of the exact same thing for release on current gen consoles, rendering them completely useless, obsolete, and nothing more than a tiny 3D printed version of a console you already own, except you're 50 quid out of pocket and they laugh and drink margaritas on a bed of your cash. I miss it. We got as far as the PS1 Mini before Sony decided no, small isn't the way. Fucking outrageously huge is the way. So with that being the case, I've decided to take matters into my own hands. We are going to build a PS2 Mini, but not just any PS2 Mini. No, we are going to build the VGT People's Choice Ultra Mega Mini PS2. Well, we're not actually building it. I'm just asking you what games would be included. So let's waste no more time. This is VGT Asks episode 5, and today's question is, we are building a PS2 Mini. What game would you include?
Now, I was thinking, what games would I choose that were classic PS2 games? I was thinking Bully. It's an obscure choice. That was a very fun game to play. I was thinking San Andreas. Classic. But I'd hope that somebody at least will say San Andreas. So, I'll leave that option. If someone hasn't said San Andreas, I'm reclaiming that. So if someone hasn't said it, that's mine now, okay? Just saying, that's mine. That would be a better answer than what I'm going to give. Now, the actual answer might be a little bit controversial because it's not the greatest game in the world. It's certainly not the worst, but it's not the greatest. But I'm going off your words of what is your edition. I'm taking this personally. So I'm going for a game that I enjoyed playing, which was Star Wars 3 Revenge of the Sith. Purely for the reason that growing up, I bloody loved it. You got to be a Jedi, you got to do lightsaber battles, you got to live the story of Revenge of the Sith. As a Star Wars mad teenager, or whatever I was at the time, you know, you see your Star Wars stuff here, you got your Boba Fett tattoo. To me, blew my mind. I enjoyed it, I loved it. Like I say, it's not the greatest game in the world. I think if it was included, the crowd would probably go a little bit mad. But my edition, I'm bending the rules and I'm taking it. I'm reclaiming this game. This is my edition. Unless somebody doesn't say San Andreas, then edit all this out and give me San Andreas, okay? Thank you very much.
This is a tough question for me, this, because growing up I was always more of a Nintendo kid. Did have a PS2, but didn't really play it as much. But I do remember playing a game called A Dog's Life with my friend James. So yeah, I never owned the game, it was his. We used to play at his house, and as the name suggests, you're a dog. You can talk to humans and they send you on like little missions and stuff, and you know, you can bark at the neighbours, give them a bit of grief. You can run around in the park, collect bones. You can even take a shit and put it in your mouth and then throw it at the people, which is really funny, or it was really funny to do as an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old or whatever. It's probably still pretty funny now, to be fair. I remember one of the missions is for like this stoner dude who's like sat by the pond, and he's like,
"Oh man, what a bummer. My amplifier batteries are dead. Like, what am I supposed to do? Hey, dog dude, bring me a battery and I toss you a bone."
So like, you got a mission for like a stoner dude, and then you get him like his batteries, and then he busts out this little guitar solo, and it's all just like, you know, kind of, it's like set in like suburban America, so I think it's like meant to be like a tongue-in-cheek, like slice of life kind of thing. But it was good fun. I'm not sure how it would hold up now, but I'd be interested in playing it on a PS2 mini or something like that. You know, just a bit of nostalgia or whatever. But yeah, that's my pick, A Dog's Life.
So you're gonna build a PS2 mini and you want a game. What am I gonna add? If I was gonna meme this, I would say I would pick Pop Idol, the game, which is an incredible game. It's not a singing game if you don't know about it. It's like more of a rhythm game where you press X square, circle, or triangle to in the time of the music to sing well, and if you miss you go out of tune. It's hilarious, but it's not really a rhythm game because the buttons aren't on beat, so it's more of a really messed up torture game. I don't know, but check it out if you haven't. It's absolutely incredible, but it wouldn't be something I would want on the PS2 mini because there is one more game. Now, looking back, a game that I used to play hours and hours on end with friends, take a disc up to my friends with a multi-tap and 4 of us would just play hours and hours on end until we had to go home or we sleep over, whatever we do. And that game is Time Splitters 2. So Time Splitters 2 for me it's an incredible game. It's got a really cool wacky story where you've got to go through time to collect time crystals, I think it is, because these weird monster things have separated them and gone into different places in time and stuff like that. But honestly, it's got a crazy story. One minute you're at Russia, the next minute you're in like Chicago gangster era. There's so many cool like story missions, and I bought into it. But the main reason I'm picking this game is because of the multiplayer. Now, people always go on about 007 GoldenEye being the game that like revolutionized for them the split screen first person shooter game where you'd get together with friends and have a laugh with the different modes and the different styles you could play. But I never got that from GoldenEye. I played through it, but I never played split screen on a couch with a friend. So I missed that. But for me, that game was Time Splitters 2. Like, we had a multi-tap, we had 4 controllers, we used to take it round to each other's and have sleepovers. It's got Team Deathmatch, it's got Capture the Bag or Capture the Flag, whatever. It's got so many modes, it's untrue. If you've not played it, check out the variety of modes, because honestly, it's got everything. And the best one, and the one we was addicted to, was a mode called Virus. Like, a lobby of like 12 people would be in there, a mixture of us humans and computers, and one person starts on fire and they're surrounded by green flames, and they come after you. You start with a terrible gun, you pick up other guns, you try and survive, you're running around the map, you're the last one standing. It's crazy, you know what I mean? It's so much adrenaline, it's so much fun. You can set the settings how you want, have certain weapons, power-ups, no weapons, whatever, different maps. It's crazy. And honestly, like, if there was a PS2 mini and some kids picked it up and played Time Splitters 2, honestly, they would have the best of times. Still, it holds up. I've just been playing it recently and it holds up. And I'm going to put it out there, but it's a mixture for its time. Battle Royale, Last Man Standing, and also COD Zombies. So, eat your heart out.
Fucking... can't think of any.
We are building a PS2 Classic Mini, and what game would I put into it? I have mentioned this game before in my answers on this series, but immediately it's got to be Burnout 3 for me. That's my favourite in the Burnout. That's my favourite in the Burnout franchise. I think it's the best one. It's the most fun. It's got a badass soundtrack. I absolutely love that game. I wish that they would remake it, remaster it. So yeah, it's got to be Burnout 3 for me. But also, very quick shout out to God of War 1, God of War 2, and Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh, and Metal Gear Solid 3. But Burnout 3 is the one that's going on the Classic Mini for me.
I grew up playing Nintendo, so PlayStation time as a kid for me was pretty short and limited. I was so used to Nintendo's colourful and iconic mascots, you know, Mario, Link, Banjo-Kazooie, that when I ever picked up a PS1 or PS2, I always found it quite muddy, grey and uninspired in comparison. However, growing up, I realised that beyond the surface they had quite a deep and dynamic collection, including games like Metal Gear Solid with its tough and complex story, and Crash Bandicoot pushing even the most seasoned platform gamers to their limits. After some careful analysis, I decided to go with Resident Evil 4. It is by far one of the best games available on PlayStation, and why would you not pick it? It has the player nervously navigating dark hallways, adjusting the camera so you can see what's coming around the next corner. Kicking indoors temporarily brings back that sensation of power and control that you as a player so desperately seek, but that is slowly ground to a halt when you see an army of plagued priests slowly marching towards you, with parasites growing out of their heads, swinging around maces and wielding giant wooden shields. I love how like the enemies, if they're really far away from you, they've got a little jog going on, a little sprint, but as they get about a few meters in front of you, they really start to slow down. There's a large sense of dread when you've got something coming at you really close, really slowly. The shooting system in the game is it's quite technical, so rather than just blasting away, it kind of wants you to aim, and it gives you a chance to like aim at limbs, such as their legs, which will knock them down, enabling the kick combo, so you can send them flying. It's quite clever actually. At first I thought when they were running at me and then they stopped and they started coming really slowly at me, I think, why don't they just keep running at me? But then I realised it's to give the player a chance to decide what to do and how they're going to take them out. Like for example, if you do shoot them in the leg and do the kick on the enemy at the front, it will knock the ones behind him down as well, which gives you some space to then decide what to do next. So it's quite tactical in a sense of how you're going to handle the situation. Backed up with an incredible soundtrack, rewarding weapon upgrades, and the fucking merchant. I'll buy it at a high price. What are you buying? What are you selling? It's just, yeah, good shit. What other games do you know that are quotable like that?
Boy.
It's me, Mario!
Snake!
This was a triumph.
Hey! Listen!
Bomb has been planted.
Casitas wares, if you have coin.
I can't think of any. Resident Evil 4, even when it dared to stray out of the classic Resident Evil formula, it's a masterpiece in its own right. Go and play it alone in the dark and tell me you didn't shit your pants. Good game. That I would recommend Resident Evil 4 for the PS2 collection, or hopefully you said PS2 collection. If not, if it's a PS1 collection, then I'm fucked. Can't remember if you said PS2. I'm pretty sure you said PS2.
Thank you so much for watching, and a massive shout out to everybody that got involved in today's video. The links to their pages are in the description, so go check them out and support whatever it is that they do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.